Welcome, welcome. We're at Meet the Author, and today we have Sueanne Pacheco. How are you, Sueanne?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing really good. Thank you. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you so much. With Meet the Author, I'd love you to be able to share a little bit about you and why did you write the book you wrote?
So, Suanne, I am a mother of two, and my passion or my love has always been writing. And I am a young adult author, and I wrote this book because I wanted to really, initially, it started off just as a typical teenage angst story, but then it turned out into being an exploration about the cultural impacts that happen to young women. And it's basically, about three generation of women and their interactions with each other. And so with that context in mind, I write to inspire young adults, and I use examples that they can relate to, because I'm sure all of us has gone through some examples of these things, and to give them inspiration that if they choose to write, they can also write and tell their stories as well. But really, the core for me is to write inspiring stories that can help transform young adults in their life's journey.
All right, hold up your book for me, please.
Sure.
And as if you were to be whispering to Mrs. Langlois House, share with me what is the main message for women, for youth, and for grandparents. Is there a main message that really brings that book to life?
The main message is how to overcome fear and be open to love. So oftentimes with intergenerational things, we don't always have a way of expressing love. And we have, everyone shows their love in different ways. And so that's really the main message. Oftentimes, we experience certain things and we withhold ourselves in expressing what we truly want to show to others within our families and so forth. And so really this is about a young woman who is coming of age. She wants her independence, but she's sort of afraid of her independence because she doesn't know how to navigate this. She doesn't have the matriarchs in her sphere have not really prepared her to deal with the changes that are eventually going to happen in her life.
So if there was a theme that has been discussed at length lately, particularly here in Canada, is intergenerational trauma and how trauma is passed on generation to generation. In what ways would a reader of your book be able to apply some of the lessons, or what particular lesson in the book could really help people release trauma, deal with difficulties, and overcome challenges?
There is a scene in the book where the grandmother sits down with the main character and in her own way tries to have that conversation with her to get her to realize that there's more to her life. And that's what we all have to do in our families. We need to find someone in our families that we trust, that we can go to, bounce our ideas off of, and not feel that we're going to be ridiculed. We have certain mannerisms about ourselves that we don't always understand, but really it's sitting down, having that communication within a trusted member of your family, and to express some of the confusion and the uncertainty and the fears that you may have as you're navigating through life.
And let me just switch gears a little bit. The book, the writing of the book, the authoring of the book, there's many emotions and feelings and experiences. What advice would you give to new authors or aspiring authors as they journey or navigate their adventure with becoming an author?
I would tell them, believe in your ideas and move forward in faith. For myself, there was a lot of self-doubt for myself. So this book did not get done for quite some time. And so I just say, you know what, trust what you're feeling and put those ideas down on your computer, in a journal, whatever you need to express those feelings, and, get it cleaned up and organize it into your story. And write with your authentic self.
So the key there is to encourage them to write, and it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect. It just is important to get it down on paper or on their computer or some way that they can have it edited.
Yes. And
Sure.
journaling helps because every day you have different thoughts. So put it in a journal. Just do a brain dump of what's in your thoughts. Just let it flow and come back to it another day and organize it another day. But just get things down somewhere.
Wonderful. And if let's get a magic wand out and wave a magic wand, it's in 6 months, 6 months, if we could get this book into somebody's hands that would take it to a whole new level, perhaps even change your life. Can you give me 2 names of people out there that we can energetically, vibrationally send out a message to them to have a read of your book and to connect?
Oh my goodness. I would love Shonda Rhimes to read my book. Marianne Williamson to read my book. Those would be 2 ladies that I could see, giving their feedback on the book.
Well, I'm familiar with Marianne Williamson, the Course in Miracles. We've actually had some wonderful exchanges over the years, and we'll see if that can be sent out. The first name I didn't quite remember. Who might that be?
Shonda Rhimes. So she is the creator of Grey's Anatomy. And the reason why I put her name out there is because she is a woman of color, and she has, broken that glass ceiling in terms of the entertainment industry. And she's doing some magnificent things with regards to building out stories. And she incorporates a lot of women of color in her stories. So she's really giving voice to women now. And so as a result, when you are seeing any of her shows, you're seeing yourself reflected back in some of her content. So that's why I put her name out there.
Super. I'm going to post this, of course, in the Meet the Authors series, Continual Shift, and also have it posted with Lead Pedal Radio, so people who are driving around North America can hear this conversation. I'm going to ask you to put down the link of that name, and we'll see how that can be spiraled through the social media. What are 1 or 2 ways that people can get a hold of your book? And please share that information.
So for anyone who has avid readers in their family, young adult readers in their family, you can find my book on sueannepacheco.com. You can also go to freesompress.com to get a copy of the book, or Barnes & Noble.
Fantastic. We'll put the links below, so please hit that share this with any youthful readers, people who are looking for ideas around intergenerational communication, trauma release. And what would be one last word or invitation that you would like to share today, Sueanne?
Imagination. Allow yourself to imagine. For me, growing up, my favorite book was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And even when the movie came out, I was still mesmerized by it, because it's like, imagine an adventure waiting for you inside of the wardrobe. I mean, that's really what it is. Your stories are existing in your imagination, and you have to take those words from the wardrobe of your imagination and let them shine.
And I'll bring it to completion. Thank you so very much for your time today. Reach out to Sueanne on social media, check out the book, and maybe even use that last comment about imagination. And perhaps I'll just add a to it, to reimagine. Many people that we've meeting these days are feeling a little beaten down, a little bit of depressed. Reimagine might give you a whole new beginning with your imagination. Thank you so very much, Sueanne.
Thank you so much, Dave.